So, with Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown, with Seth Rollins explaining his actions and the Shield's gunning for revenge from Seth Rollins, all of that's now in the books. I like to say, with all that in the books, with the top story that's been going on from there, another top story which did kick off the night was Daniel Bryan being stripped of the World Heavyweight title. So basically, as it's been heard, the doctors did indeed clear that Daniel Bryan was not clear to compete, in which the story does state that he is not to complete, so which made the leeway to Triple H and Stephanie McMahon stripping Daniel Bryan of the title. So basically, that did lead them to state that Brie Bella did quit for nothing. So I was thinking of, he lost his title and his wife. So basically, that's what did happen. She did quit, and then basically Stephanie McMahon badmouthed Brie Bella, called her an ungrateful shrew, and Triple H did set some cracks there. He said the same thing. So that's what happened from there. So basically, that made it the leeway, which I am excited about. So Triple H did pick Randy Orton to be in the Money in the Bank, gave him a free spot there. Didn't even have to worry about earning it. And then with Cesaro, Del Rio, and Sheamus, all being four of the qualifiers for the Money in the Bank World Heavyweight title opportunity, which I am excited about. So I don't know who else is going to be there for the WWE World title opportunity. I think this is good. I think this is a good way for the Money in the Bank ladder match to be shaken up, to cash in the briefcase, which I am so greatly excited about. So, wherever it goes from there, I really can't wait to see what happens from there. So, anything could happen from there. So, but I think Cesaro does need this win for the ladder match, because he's been highly accomplished, and with him being the winner of the Andre the Giant Battle Royale, and then Randy Orton, we don't want him to have another title reign again and just be in the back. So I felt like with Batista's departure, the story opens up. But the question is, how will the feud with Evolution and the Shield will turn from there, especially if they do have a pay-per-view match, and with Daniel Bryan and with Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns gunning for Seth Rollins. Basically, I don't know. Time will tell what's going to happen. Who knows if Dean Ambrose betrays Roman Reigns. But, I don't know. It would be really crazy to believe that, Basically, it would be really crazy to believe that, Triple H would successfully destroy the Shield, because what's going to happen from there? Because if they somehow destroy Triple H and the Authority, they could be gone for a while, but then they keep coming back. The Shield, I felt like they need this more, quite frankly, even though Seth Rollins did turn his back. So I felt like Triple H is trying to do whatever it takes to destroy the Shield. So who knows what goes on from there, to say the least. So that's what I gotta say to that. So so basically, I think this is gonna be a little bit refreshing. So hopefully Daniel Bryan does take time to recover. As much as it sucks for Daniel Bryan to be injured, and as much as it sucks for Daniel Bryan to be injured, and then having to be out of the WWE for a couple of months, and Brie Bella quitting, I think this was the leeway for them to get their vacation on. And then I don't know if Brie Bella's pregnant or whatnot, who knows, but she probably's taking time off TV as well. So that did made it a leeway, and it made it a leeway for her to get off TV. So I don't know how she's gonna come back, but it'll probably be some silly, inconsistent way. I don't know what's to happen from there. That's what I gotta say to that. So same thing with Daniel Bryan. So that's what I gotta say to that. So that's what I gotta say to that. Next thing that did happen from there, which leads me to saying Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose, the remaining members of the Shield, attacked 3MB and basically still took them out with only 2 of the 3. Gratefully enough that we didn't have the Hornswoggle, El Torito, 3MB, Los Matadores type crap. Luckily, the Shield they still managed to take out 3MB with just them being them 3, So that's what I gotta say to that. And then the next leeway is basically them stating their promo that how could Seth Rollins stab us in the back, and the cancer was Seth Rollins, the guy that hurt the Shield, ended up being Seth Rollins, and basically him attacking them. Basically, they can't forgive him for what they did, and basically with Seth Rollins viciously attacking the Shield, they were attacked viciously and humiliated. That did lead a leeway to them getting revenge, but the question is, Why did he join? What's with the poker face he had? And it's kind of hard because he kind of had a poker face. I don't know if he was forced to join or if he really chose, but I'll get to that later on. But it seemed as if Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose were shocked and did try to seek retribution. Basically, with Dean Ambrose playing that psychotic character, he did play like, man, that guy is gunning for revenge. He can't play a guy who betrays the group. And then, and Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns were gunning for revenge. But basically, Dean Ambrose does play that great killer instinct where he could get at you and get revenge. And same thing with Roman Reigns. They displayed a killer instinct where, you know what, I am going to get at you. I am going to gun for you and get some retribution. So basically, that's what happens from there. And with Seth Rollins watching from the back, it's kind of like you could see where his promo will be delivered with the facial expressions he displayed. So kind of like, it was kind of interesting because it was like we're assuming his facial expression with him watching in the back, and we just get a mental image from it. We basically actually see like, okay, what's going to go on from them? So I think this was great. And Roman Reigns, basically, he wasn't planning to just go after Seth Rollins. He was going to go after Triple H and Randy Orton, who's responsible for this whole thing with their attempt to destroy the Shield. So I think this was quite very interesting. I think this is great. Some suspense from there, I think, is making so much leeway to what could happen from there. So basically, that's what happened. So with Seth Rollins later on that very night, him kind of responding to what Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns had to say, basically with him explaining his actions. So with Michael Cole doing the interview, I felt like he wasn't solely on his own, but it did give him more room with him being by himself to explain his actions, with not Triple H and Randy Orton kind of just there supporting him. He was just solely on why he did what he did, because that's the question. So when they say Seth Rollins breaks his silence, it just made it so official that he broke his silence. Basically saying, you know what? He did have the right to destroy the Shield, in the fact that he's trying to prove a point. So when he said those weren't his brothers, those weren't his sidekicks that he enjoyed being with, even though, that he enjoyed riding the success with, like they have this brotherhood, he looked at as just business partners, and he felt like after a sweeping evolution at Payback, his work with the Shield was done, and practically he wanted to evolve and adapt, and did have some hints on why he joined Evolution. He wanted to move further above. He was trying to strive for success, and basically he called the remaining of the Shield's pathetic remnants, and saying, you know what, after they get their match with the Wyatt family, they're going to be done, and basically probably said things like, oh, they're going to fall into obscurity. So it looked as if he's trying to prove some sort of a point that he was the real leader of the Shield and he could destroy it. But, I don't know, the lead way to the story could be like he finds some way to officially destroy them, but the real story was with Triple H trying to destroy the Shield. I wouldn't be focused on, like Seth Rollins attempts to destroy the Shield by himself. Triple H and Randy Orton, that was like their main goal, their main primary holy grail. So I don't know, because if the Shield was to destroy it, it could make the story less redundant, or if the Shield finally destroys Triple H, the story could avoid being redundant as well in another way. So, like I said on Friday, I think this was a good way to avoid treading water on the Shield Evolution feud. It was Seth Rollins, doing the promo he did and basically coming out as a jerk and saying, you know what, he was the guy who made the Shield. He was the reason he was success. And he felt like, with him leaving, that Roman Reigns, who's the so-called golden boy, and Dean Ambrose, who's just a lunatic, I think this could lead to what could happen that following way. And what I say, that was so convincing that he knocked that story so greatly. And the fact that Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose were watching backstage on his actions, this could have so much leeway, and I'm so intrigued with what's going to happen from there. So, basically, kudos to Seth Rollins and to his promo, and same thing with Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. The feud has been so intense, and it has not lost a step since. Another thing that did happen was the Divas match with Alicia Fox versus Natalya. I think Paige. Yeah, Paige. Alicia Fox attacks Asana basically through another antic, and then consoles Oksana. Well, I don't know what their alliance goes on from there, but I am intrigued about that. It was great to see Paige back on TV after Friday Night SmackDown. and last week she was absent. So I don't know. Everyone's still waiting for AJ's absence to come back, but hopefully it does happen sometime in the future. So I don't know what's gonna go on from there, to say the least. So that's what I gotta say to that. And then Fandango and Sandow versus the Usos. Damien Sandow was completely weird. I don't know why he picks Damien Sandow as his partner. I don't know. It just felt he just completely losing his edge. I don't know what was that all about. I wish he did got someone else. In all honesty, I can't think of someone like Bo Dallas to Bo Lee, but he is building up as a singles competitor, which did state his match against Santino Marella, which I thought was a great match as well. And then what is it? Yeah, so Usos did get a victory, which the match wasn't displaying much aggression. Well, Damien Sandow didn't have that same aggression he had before the intellectual saving the masses, but luckily enough, Fandango got some offense in, but mostly was focused on Layla getting brutally humiliated by Summer Rae, which I didn't feel too thrilled about. But it seems like the feud's continuing, and it didn't shake. It looked like as if it was going to shake off easily. I'm glad it did it. So she didn't move on yet. So that's what I got to say to that. And then next match that indeed did happen was, I think, I did spoke about the Money in the Bank qualifying ladder match. So forgot what else happened. Oh man, it's like, oh yeah, Alexander Rusev, another squash match. So I was like, whoop-de-doo. Honestly, skip through that because I don't know. Lana makes great promos, but she could do so much. But I don't really want to see a feud actually happen. Him getting a challenge, like him making real overcoming achievements to keep himself going further. I don't want this to. It feels so rushed with what's going on from there, basically. So hopefully the Big Show is to be his challenge. I thought Biggie would be, but if he is to come back, who knows? But the Big Show or Mark Henry has got to be the challenge. So I can't wait for that to happen. Rybaxel and Goldust and R-Truth. Basically, Rybaxel picks up another victory against Goldust, and I don't know. Cody Rhodes says his tag team partner must be Goldust, so hopefully it didn't turn into a handicap match or another Goldust with Cody Rhodes, or find some way to screw him over. So that's what I gotta say to that. So that's quite the shocking event. So that's what went on from there. And then the main event, the Wyatt family versus Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and John Cena. Basically, John Cena teams with the Shield to get his retribution on the Wyatt family. Well, no retribution, but to help them fight the Wyatt family, and they basically got a victory. My TV cut off. I forgot to record the whole thing. I don't know why it ended on time, but basically they did get the victory with Roman Reigns really storming on the Wyatt family, which I thought was a good victory. So what I gotta say to that is I'm quite impressed with what happened from there. And Monday Night Raw was really good with the four big storylines that kind of really supported the show. It really lifted from all the other unnecessary filler that went on for Monday Night Raw, or just entertaining filler, but it didn't hurt. I'm glad they put it in a way where it didn't hurt the show at all, which I thought that was so great about. So one thing I could say is kudos to Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and then Triple H and Stephanie earlier that night for promoting Raw and building up from there. The Vicky Guerrero segment was completely unnecessary when she celebrated Brad Maddox being fired. Stephanie had slapped the champagne and kind of got humiliated a slight bit. So it was kind of weird, and basically Vicky left. So I don't know. She needs to get off TV. I mean, she's becoming completely irrelevant with the Authority being around. So that's what I got to say to that. So that's my video, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace out.